Alright, we're looking at mean, median, mode, and range, all the data stuff. So the mean, that is this A right here. We can remember it with that A. I like to capitalize it. The A stands for average. The mean is the average of the data set. The median, again, we can look at the letters here. I'm going to circle the D right here. The median, that has a D in it, just like the word middle has two D's in it right in the middle of it. So the median is the middle number when the data set is in order. That's important. A lot of people just think the median is the middle number, but the data set has to be in order. That's part of the definition. The mode, again, looking at the letters here, M and O stand for most often. Most often. So this would be the number that appears the most often in the data set. And then the last thing is the range. That's the difference between the highest and lowest numbers in the data set. Alright, so those are all important words to know because we're going to have to find all those right here. So the mean, median, mode, and range. Well, the first thing I'm going to do to find these is list them in order. And so it'll be 22 going first, and I cross them out as I list them so I don't forget anything. 23 would come second. I'm going to put a comma in between these. And usually I like to line up the numbers right underneath one another, but I'm writing too big to do that here. And I can't write, with this program, I can't write accurately enough to do that. So 45 would be next, and then 78, that would be the last number. So now I'm going to find the mean, median, and mode, and range. So I'm going to find the mean first, and what I do to find the mean is just add up all the numbers. I add them one by one. 22 plus 23. After we get 45, we do 45 plus 45. And after we've added 1, 2, 3 numbers, we add the last one. So we add 78 to 90. And you should get 168 there. So 168 is not my mean, it's the sum. And to get the mean, you have to divide the sum by however many numbers there are in the data set. In this case, there are 4. So I would divide 168 by 4. And I think what I get when I do this is I get 42. Right? Because 4 is going to go into 16 4 times exactly, and it'll go into 8 2 times exactly. So we get 42 for a mean. Alright, the median will be the middle number here. So the middle number, well, there's not really one since there's an even number in the data set. There's 4 different numbers we're looking at. It looks like 23 and 45 are going to be in the middle. So what we would do to get the median, we would add those two numbers up. Or if you know what's right in the middle, I know off the top of my head actually 34 is right in the middle, but if you didn't know that, you could add these up. 23 plus 45 would equal 68. And then you'd have to do 68 and you divide it by 2. Kind of like you would just find the average or the mean. You're dividing by 4 last time. This time, since we added 2 numbers, we're going to divide it by 2. And that'll equal 34. Now in this particular case, the mode is the one that occurs the most. There's not one that occurs the most, so I would just write no mode. And finally, the last thing here is the range. We would do 78 minus 22, the biggest number minus the smallest number. And we should get 56 for the range.